there are many ways to have a carrier. If there's somebody who's a relative or a family friend and lives in your community, that person may qualify and be a wonderful carrier for you and be close by, as long as you're in a state that will allow this to be done. It turns on the payment aspect many times, the legality does. So if your sister does this for you, and those cases exist, we should talk about that a little bit. The presumption is you're not paying your sister, and you may be able to do this anywhere as long as there's no payment involved. But if you are hiring somebody for the purpose of gestating for you and for the time and effort involved, she has to be located in a state where this is permissible. It may not be the state where you are. In our program, it rarely is, because we work in a certain number of states and our intended parents tend to come from cities or other countries. We have to look at states where we can work. That's common, and location and how you get to your carrier, those are issues for people. But it is rare to be able to just take a short drive and be with your carrier.
Right. So it's not a big deal that a carrier typically lives in a different state. And the whole idea of non-compensated surrogacy with a relative or a friend, there's still a contract still should be in place for something like that.
Yes, sometimes people don't realize that many of the aspects of commercial surrogacy apply to a non-commercial or an unpaid surrogacy. The carrier still has to have medical care. We still have to see whether her insurance will be able to be billed for her medical care. Many times it can't because the policy has an exclusion in it. There are still potential issues and complications that have to be addressed during the course of a pregnancy, which are no different than if she's getting paid or not getting paid, and everybody has to appreciate that. And then, of course, there's the legal work related to parentage that has nothing to do with the fact that she's getting paid or not getting paid when it comes to custody and legal rights and parental rights. Mm-hmm. So there are many overlaps when it comes to a commercial surrogacy, but it is possible, and many people, because there is such a dearth of carriers these days, many people try to find on their own somebody in their lives that can do this for them. And that's an understandable wish.
Right. And again, even if it's someone the carrier is not bearing a child that is related to her. It's always an embryo that's being transferred to her uterus that has no genetic relation to her, no matter what the situation.
Well, almost always. Traditional surrogacy is when the carrier herself is using her own genetic material. That's the Mary Beth Whitehead case of many years ago, where the egg is hers, therefore she is the genetic and biological parent.
But that's not legal, what I'm saying.
It is legal. It's just you can't do anything. I mean, it's legal.
Right. It's not legal.
But you can't, it is legal, but you can't get a pre-birth order of parentage. You have to do an adoption.
There can't be a contract for a traditional surrogacy. It's illegal.
There can't be a contract to give custody up, but there could be a contract for payment. There could be a contract for expenses, but you can't have parental rights assumed or expected until she decides.
Well, that's really what people think the contract is. I mean, the contract is give me custody. All right.
And there's many IVF clinics won't do that, but some still will.